Welcome to a special edition of A Drink of Wisdom with Nathan Drinkard. I'm Jay Wise. Thanks for spending some of your time with us. As you well know, we're hosted on the Anchor app, but you can find us at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and so many other podcasting platforms. You can also find us on the A Drink of Wisdom YouTube channel. Drink, great to have you along.
Hey man, it feels great to be alone. But you know how I go on this fruitful Friday. Before we get into it, I got to find out, hey man, how everything with you and yours.
Oh, it's good. I think you know it's good. How about how I'm doing right now? You know what I'm saying. But how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I think we both on somewhat of how can I put this? Maybe a solo mission this weekend. You know what I'm saying? Be able to move a little more freely, if I must say so myself. But with that said, don't want to hold people up. You know what we here for. It's another day, another dollar. We're gonna give the streets what they need. We see what they doing and absolutely say what they want and set them dinner plates because it's time to eat. Or you probably ate already, but you're gonna eat again. But last but not least, let's talk some sports, baby. What we getting into today, Jay?
Yeah, this is episode 32, and it's all about the wild card round. We got six matchups to dive in due to the expanded NFL playoffs, and we will start with the Las Vegas Raiders making their first entrance into the postseason since 2016, and the Cincinnati Bengals. I don't think they've been lately either, ever since the days of Marvin Lewis. Both teams 10-7. They met back in Week 11. The Bengals won that one 32-13. Joe Mixon had a big day on the ground, 123 yards and two touchdowns. The Raiders come in. They've won their last four games, although each of them very close. They won those four games by just a total of 12 points. Drink, they're giving the Bengals 5.5. How do you see this one playing out?
Yeah, let me start that with the 5.5. I thought that was quite generous of Vegas to give the Bengals that many points. Listen, I know Cincinnati is at home. I got that, but I don't. Why exactly do you get them 5 points? I think this game is probably 2 3 points maybe. I listen. At the end of the day, when I start factoring in the factors, I'm like, I'm looking at the quarterbacks. We know Joe Burrow got some upside, but I could put an argument to say Derek Carr is better right now, as we stand right now, that he's a better quarterback than Joe Burrow. I think maybe they feel that Cincinnati defense is more impressive. But listen, you know, the Raiders got a guy that's on a Pro Bowl team on defense. All pro team. So I don't I don't know. I'm a little perplexed with this 5.5. I don't, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think Cincinnati covers. I don't. Matter of fact, the only reason I'm gonna pick Cincinnati to win this game is because they're the home team. I honestly thought this game was more of a pick 'em, and I think we'll see that as it go. Because like we was talking about before the show, I think Derek Carr is very underrated. I don't think he's appreciated enough for how well of a quarterback he is, how good he is, and he play on the Raiders that's talked about for many other reasons. Guys on they social media with the blickies out telling people to pull up. You got guys out here, God rest their soul, out here driving late at night and intoxicated and that and then you got the coach with his email drama, the former coach with his email drama. Then you got the current head coach that we still don't know his name. Um, it's a lot of factors that would just make you think like the Raiders shouldn't be here, but the fact that they are here kind of made me think like maybe this team know how to fight through adversity. If it's nothing else, they know how to fight through adversity because they had every reason not to make the playoffs this year. Every reason. And yet, here they go. They made the playoffs. Um, hats off to the Las Vegas Raiders staff for getting them to the playoffs. And then the Cincinnati Bengals. My problem with them is both teams are 10-7, but I just felt like Cincinnati had a chance to be more. more than like the Cincinnati really thought like I thought that they was gonna really make some noise. Now I got it. The division they play in going against the Browns and the Ravens, and I got that part right. The Steelers, but I think the Bengals this year was better than the Steelers, and quite frankly, the way Lamar Jackson was up and down, I thought they was pretty neck and neck with the Ravens, and then the Browns, the team I thought was gonna win some this year. They was clearly better than the Browns for obvious reasons. So I just think the Bengals underachieved, and then I think the Raiders overachieved. But with that said, I don't understand why Vegas got Cincinnati 5.5. I don't know. I think they just out here trying to get somebody to fall for the razzle dazzle so they can get paid. Because I don't know about all this. I think this game is gonna be a barn burner, and it's gonna be pretty close. But like I said, I think I would take Cincinnati. Right, I would take the Raiders for the points, but I would take Cincinnati for the win. And I like the stat that you put in here. The Raiders in the season on a 4-game winning streak. And listen, I got it total by 12 points, but that's what I'm talking about right there. This team know how to play through adversity, and I think this road environment won't bother. I mean, it's gonna be pretty brisky out there now. Don't get me wrong. It's gonna be brisky out there, and these guys playing a nice dome on the West Coast here. But with that said, I think Derek Carr gonna make this a game for the Raiders. I think Cincinnati wins, and I guess my question would be, what is the impact that Joe Mixon will make on this game? Because I think I know what I'm gonna get out of Jamar Chase. I think I know what I'm gonna get out of the receivers in general. I would just like to know if Joe Mixon is gonna make that impact that I think he can make, and if he do, maybe the Bengals will run off with this. But to me, I'm like this with Joe Mixon because I just think he's kind of inconsistent at best. But yeah, man, I take the Bengals. I take the Bengals for the win and the Raiders for the points.
Yeah, I think this is one of the more. I still don't know quite which way to go because, as I said to start, Raiders haven't been here since 2016. The Bengals haven't made the playoffs since 2015, and these have been two of the worst franchises in the past 5-6 years. So it's a new moment really for both teams. We know Zach Taylor is a young coach, Burrow a young quarterback. Derek Carr, the last time the Raiders made the playoffs, that was a season where he had a pretty gruesome injury. I think it was his hand. It was something. But that's when, if you remember, that's when we had the pleasure of watching Brock Osweiler play against Connor Cook. I don't know if you remember that, but we had that. That was an ESPN game because, of course, it was. But I think I kind of see I see where the 5.5 is coming from because the Raiders got walloped in the first meeting, which was on their playing field. They got beat 32-13. I don't think neither quarterback played particularly well, but the Bengals were able to run the ball to the effect of 30 carries for Mixon for 123 yards, 2 touchdowns. Bengals, they dominated time possession. They had over 37 minutes. So that's the part to watch, because if Josh Jacobs only has 9 carries in this game, then that means that the Raiders don't have I don't think they have a shot. The wild card to me is Darren Waller. Is he going to come back? I was just trying to see what his status was. I think he was limited in practice this week, which I guess means he has a shot. Maybe he will play. But if he does play, how effective can he be? Because that was kind of the thing with one of the things looking at the Raiders this year. Once Darren Waller went down, you was like, where is Derek Carr throwing the ball now? And then you had Hunter Renfrow emerge to a huge impact this year. Zay Jones, we've rediscovered who he is lately. Deshaun Jackson's good for, one big play a game. So they made it work in the back end tight end, Foster Moreau. He's not bad. He can play. But really, I think it's about Josh Jacobs in this game for the Raiders. If they can establish him and they work him, and they should give him the ball, then that means the Raiders should be in this game. But I think, to me, I do think there's a pretty big talent disparity in this game. I think the Bengals have the superior talent. We've seen what Jamar Chase has done lately. He's been absolutely fantastic. T. Higgins, I mean, Jamar Chase has been great, and but you look at the other side, and T. Higgins has been great too. It's just two great performers out there, and Tyler Boyd's one of the perhaps the most underrated slot man in the NFL, and their defense. I mean, I think Trey Hendrickson is still on a streak to where he's, he's getting a sack every game or so. So they got some playmakers on the defense, and to me, it's just I guess the first quarter is going to be really telling because I think both teams, when you have this many new players new to this moment, who's jittery to start. Like does somebody make an early mistake? That's crucial. Um, and Joe Burrow, this only being his second season. But, to me, he came out of college. He was, 23 or whatever. So he played a full career in college, and all that, won a national title. So I don't think the stage will be too big for him. And I think Cincinnati is going to win this game. The only question is, can the Raiders stay close? And to me, that's going to depend on how effective Josh Jacobs is. And I think the Bengals will win this one by a touchdown.